is Thursday. I think it's Thursday the 18th of September, and I've just realised it's been a while since I checked in. Just been full pelt since last week, as we do go away next week, so I wanted to make sure client care is taken care of. They all know what they're doing whilst I'm away, and there's nothing to worry about. And then that's one of the things about working for yourself, I guess. Like when you work for a company and you go on holiday, generally speaking, you can just kind of down tools and away you go and kind of forget about it. But when you run your own business, you work for yourself, you have to prep everything for when you get back, so that when you do get back, the boots can hit the ground and you can just get back into the flow of things. That's pretty much been the main focus for this last week. Because I don't want to really take any work away with me. I don't mind clients getting in touch with me whilst I'm away if the shit hits the fan, but they're pretty cool. They know what the drill is, and they are very, very flexible with me, and they're quite cool to just kind of let me get on holiday and leave it alone. But they know that I'm there in the back if they need it. So that's been the main focus this week. As far as TRT goes for the update, I have increased the dose, but it's such early days, there's not been enough to notice any of a difference. I have noticed, and I touched point on this a little bit in the last video, since speaking with the doctor, that my weight is increasing, and I'm doing a little bit of research into it and looking at what could be the causes of that, because training is pretty consistent, sleep is good, and I am quite routine with nutrition. I did point on it that, I am enjoying life and I am going to enjoy things as well. I'm not a heavy drinker. I might have a drink at a weekend, and I certainly, Monday through till Saturday, Sunday, I am pretty consistent with nutrition, but I am going to allow for some flexibility. I'm not a saint, and I'm never going to profess to be one, but I am noticing there is a weight increase. I don't feel like my composition's changing too drastically. It's certainly not increasing. I do get feedback off my wife where she's starting to notice other aspects of it. So she's noticing more definition. I'm getting leaner apparently in her eyes, but it's like when you see yourself, me particularly, I'm very critical of myself and my body composition. So I tend to dive a little deeper into it. I'm recalculating the numbers and running them by and seeing what's what and seeing if I can make an impact. But I do realise I go away next week, so I'm really not going to make that much of an impact in a week. So it is a case of when we get back, getting back onto full pelt and making sure everything's there. I just wanted to ask if any of you guys have done TRT before in the past and experienced this, or you're on TRT and you're going through the same thing as I am. How did you find it? Did you combat it? Did it write itself? Did you have to change anything? If you wouldn't mind just putting a comment below and let me know, that would be absolutely amazing, because it's something that not everyone talks about. And when you bring up TRT to people, they kind of see it as like this uncertain area to talk about, and I don't want it to be that. I want it to be something I can I can openly talk to people about, and I can share my knowledge with it as well. So all the things that I'm going through, I'm trying to make note of this, and again, that's why I do these videos, so that I can then document it and then share my experience. So should I speak to anybody in the future that is open and honest and talks about TRT, I can help those guys out. But I'll keep you posted. Like I say, it's back to the desktop, get all this work done for the rest of this week, so that I can go away and kind of put my feet up. But I'm not going to film too much while I am away, but I will make sure this video gets put up next Friday, because I will commit to those, and I will get those videos out every fortnight. So thanks for the support, and if you do have any experience with it, please just drop me a comment below. Good evening, everyone. First off, I want to apologise. I did say earlier in the video that I was going to get this up on Friday while we were away, but unfortunately that just didn't happen. The internet wasn't particularly very good, but I just didn't think that there was going to be enough in the video for me to just kind of post it and then upload it onto social media or YouTube for that matter. So I decided to do it when I come home, and then obviously the real world kicks in, you're straight back into it. And I did say that obviously I was prepping everything before I went away so that when I got back I could just get back on with work, and that has pretty much been the case for the last few days. From start to finish, non-stop. It's been client care, catching up with clients, dealing with any issues that has happened over the last week. And to say there has been a few, that's fine, that's all taken care of, and that's not really an issue. But obviously this has just had to take a bit of a backseat for the last couple of days. As far as TRT update goes, being away this time, yes, it was a little cooler, so it's a little bit more manageable, but I did find that my energy levels were much better than when I went away in July. As I got, I just found out my TRT levels were, well, my testosterone levels were low, and I was going to be embarking on TRT. So it was a very, very different experience. I don't cope very well with heat, especially when it's extreme heat, but I do manage to try and keep myself as active as possible. And last time I just couldn't do it. This time during the day it was quite warm. So we still managed to get on with doing the things that we wanted to do, go walking, to the beach, swimming, all that kind of stuff. But the nights were a lot cooler, so that does help, and I guess it does help with the sleep. But I just wanted to, again, first of all, apologise for that. Wanted to also ask, how are you guys doing? I've had a few comments off people, which is huge. I really appreciate that. I do like the interest that's there, and I will try and give as much feedback as I possibly can. So if it helps you guys to send me some questions, I'll be happy to answer them in a video rather than commenting back. Whilst I'm happy to do that, I think that might just be a good way for me to share some of my experiences, some of my findings, and some of my fears, really, because someone's commented there in regards to hair loss and things like that, and that's all very valid. It is something that you should be concerned of, but I would be quite happy to kind of keep commenting them back, but I'm quite happy to put them in a video as well. So please, if you do feel that you want to just put a question below, and I'll answer that in the next couple of weeks. When obviously the video goes live, they'll be answered for you. So I do appreciate that, and I really do appreciate the support. As far as the numbers are going, my TRT levels, I've just had to order a new test that came today. So I've got to go to the clinic next Wednesday for a blood draw. So that'll be something I'll take this along with, and I'll share the whole experience as best I can. I do appreciate that I'm in a clinic, so it's a bit weird taking a camera into those, but I will share. Hopefully they'll let me do it, and I can kind of document the whole process for you. Other than that, not a great deal has happened. Training's still going quite consistently well. Obviously I've been away, so I haven't really weighed myself, so like I said earlier in the video, I found that my weight has been going up slightly, but now I'm back home. Diet is back on track. As you'll have seen earlier in the clip, that I was having food, I was having a couple of beers, enjoying a cigar, some coffees and things like that. So it's a little bit out of my norm, but I'm only there for 4 days, so it's not really going to be that detrimental. So with that, I'd like to get this finished off. Again, thank you for all the support, all the questions. If you do like what you're seeing, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. It feels a bit weird saying that, but if you wouldn't mind, it does really help me out, and it gives me a better understanding of what I'm doing is helping you guys. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. Cheers.